boundaries, emotional safety in our relationships, and individualistic needs versus the needs of the couple. Really mean to create emotional safety within your intimate relationships. How do we balance the needs of ourselves, the needs of our partner, and then the needs of the couple, the relationship itself? We can easily get consumed with our own individual needs and then bring that into the relationship in a way that works against our ability to be present with the other person. What sort of happens is, for some people, there's closeness and connection, and then there may be a disconnection or discomfort that occurs, and often we don't know how to talk about the discomfort. And then from there, when we're not communicating, resentment gets built. I often use the analogy of playing tennis versus sitting on the couch with somebody. I don't know if I've heard this on a training. I'm sure I have in different ways, but conceptually just visualizing the game of tennis versus connecting with another human being on a couch. Wildly different in my mind visually. It have to do with relationships, playing tennis versus sitting on the couch. Again, conceptualize playing tennis is we're separated by a net. There's a barrier between us. You're on one side, I'm on the other side, and I'm trying to get points. I'm trying to bat the ball back to your side and not have you catch it, right? I'm trying to win the game. On the couch, there isn't an agenda that talks about winning in any way. It's simply being in connection. It's simply sitting together with another person, and there's no competition in it. When we both equally feel this this need to communicate about our feelings, right? We at the same level. How do we prioritize who goes first? And how do we prioritize showing up for the other person when we're experiencing our own emotional pain? What I've come to understand is we are often in this society, in our culture, taught to ignore our feelings and our body sensations. And we have this mentality that pushes strength with that sort of says being honest with vulnerability is weakness. Being aware of your true emotional and physical discomfort is like this weird phenomena idea of weakness, of being emotionally weak or not tough enough to deal with all that stuff and still be present in the conversation. What is incredibly important is tuning into yourself. In order for me to show up in this conversation in a way that creates emotional safety for the dialect, I want to be aware of how I'm feeling in the moment, how I'm receiving the information, and what's going on in my body and my tolerance to the discussion. And with that tuning in is a profound need for honesty. And that can be very vulnerable as well. So we have the vulnerability of tuning into our feelings that are uncomfortable and, the physical sensation. So it might be like nervousness in our hands, or our chest is starting to get tight, or we can feel stomach aches happening, or almost tingling all over, an anxious pressure to jump in or to defend ourselves or to make it into a tennis match. And then, so some people either shove that into their toes and they say, well, I just need to show up for this person. I need to be present with them. They need me right now emotionally. And then other people ignore that completely and are reactive, and it becomes a back and forth fight. And so what's really needed is that honesty around what's happening. In my other videos, I've talked about giving yourself the gift of pausing. That is in communication. That's all the time. If we really practiced being in tune to ourselves and our needs and what's happening physically, psychologically, emotionally, all of these things, if we really work to be compassionately aware, we can support safety in our relationships, emotional comfort, and progress. If you're curious on how to grow in the compassion towards yourself, continue to tune into my videos. Check out the different ones that talk about pausing and the different messages that I've shared, and I'll continue to share.